Well, it's an interesting question. Can the role of a federal MP be shared by more than one person? Lucy Bradlow and Bronwen Bock have announced they'll be running as job-sharing candidates for the inner Melbourne seat of Higgins. The lifelong friends plan to work alternate weeks and share responsibilities. The arrangement isn't dissimilar to those worked by some employees in other private and public roles, but it hasn't been tried or adopted in the role of a senator or MP. Lucy and Bronwen join us live now from Melbourne. Really appreciate you making the time for us. Thank you so much. Lucy, let's start with you. Parliament, as we know, is a pretty unique workplace. Talk us through how you see this working. We have heard from some current politicians saying, look, it's a nice idea, but impossible in reality.
Yeah, I think it's totally possible. As you said, I've worked in politics and it is a very demanding role and it's going to require people to think about how to do it differently. But I think where you've got imagination, you can do it differently. We propose to work 1 week on, 1 week off with a handover at the end of each week so that you can split the costs down the middle and so that you've only ever got one person travelling to Canberra at once. And I think that gives enough room for two people to be able to work part-time but give everything to the role when they're actually in the role.
Bronwen, a key plank of our system is the ability to hold politicians to account. How can one of you be held to account for something the other said or done the week before? If a conscience vote on a moral issue emerges, whose conscience are you going to be consulting? It could get messy, couldn't it?
One of the core premises of job sharing is that two people work together to form one role. So together we will be the one member for Higgins and we will have one laptop, one phone, one email. So in fact there's an inbuilt accountability mechanism, which is really important because Lucy and I believe deeply in integrity in Parliament and we want to represent the people in our communities, not any vested interests. We'll be watching over each other and really confidently bringing a system that is very accountable to our constituents.
Lucy, I know you're embracing the teal colour scheme in the branding. I can see the badges there. I've seen the T-shirts. It looks like your platform is focusing on climate action, integrity, cost of living issues. They are familiar themes, of course, among the teal candidates. Who's funding your campaign? Are you in talks with Simon Holmes à Court from Climate 200?
At the moment, we're being funded by some independent funders, and I think one of the key things about being an independent is you can assess every funding opportunity on its merits and decide whether that's something that aligns with our values and our core beliefs. We're in informal conversations with Climate 200, and we'll keep those informal conversations and see where they go to.
Bronwen, is this even possible legally? I know several years ago there was a proposal for two women in the UK to job share. That was rejected by the English courts. Are you planning to take this to the courts in the coming months to dot your I's and cross your T's? What's the plan on that front?
We're getting advice from constitutional lawyer Kim Rubenstein, and it's her view that there is nothing in Australian law that prevents two people running on one ticket. And it's really important to distinguish what we're doing from what happened over in the UK because they've got very different legal documentation to us. And they very specifically say that it's one person as one member in one seat. And there's nothing in our electoral act which says that one member needs to be one person.
Well, look, it is a fascinating test of the system. We'll look forward to seeing how that plays out with the Electoral Commission and seeing how you go in that seat of Higgins, which always obviously had so much attention there in Melbourne. Really appreciate you joining us, Lucy Bradlow, Bronwen Bock. Thanks for your time.
Thanks so much, Ash.
Thanks, Ashley.